Whether you're a digital nomad, budget backpacker, traveler looking to escape the busyness in Bali, or someone looking for a good destination for a little vacation, Kuta Lombok in Indonesia is a fantastic place, and this will be the only video you need to watch before traveling there. Okay, let's get into it. I spent nearly 3 weeks in the beach town of Kuta, Lombok, together with my boyfriend, and did hours of research on the places to go, so I have a lot of advice, to say the least, that I want to share, so let's get into it. In this video, I will share my best travel tips for Kuta Lombok, including advice on where to stay, where to eat, nice beaches, how to get around, and where to go if you need strong Wi-Fi. Whilst the island of Lombok is a beautiful place and there are other towns to visit there, we found that Kuta seemed to be the most popular choice and place, and also the place we really and truly enjoyed the most. I have my trusty iPad here so I don't forget anything, because this will be a full information packed video. So let's start off by talking about how to get to Kuta Lombok. So Lombok is a rather small island. Kuta is located on the south part of Lombok. And you can either fly to Lombok airport or get to Lombok, the island, by boat. But if you fly to Lombok airport, you can get from the airport to Kuta by taking a Grab. So download the app, the Grab app, or a taxi. We paid about 300,000 Indonesian rupiah for Grab, and it was about a 30-minute drive. If you come from the Gili Islands, which are the islands really close to Lombok, a very popular destination as well, you can take the ferry to Bangsal port. The public ferry is the cheapest option and really works well. It leaves when it's like full and when there's enough people, and we were lucky enough when we went to the Gili Islands and came back to Lombok that we were like able to leave within 15 minutes. So it works very well. It's the cheapest option. I do recommend it especially if you're on a budget. And from Bangsal port, if you come with the ferry, you can take a taxi or again a Grab from there, which is around 500,000 Indonesian rupiah, and it's about a 2-hour drive. You can also book your transport in advance when you're on the Gili Islands, but there will be drivers at the Bangsal port as well. We didn't ask for prices because we already had transport booked in advance before we arrived to Bangsal port, but it might be a little bit more expensive because there's a lot of people there trying to scam you, so be careful. Okay, so once you are in Kuta Lombok, you might be wondering, okay, where should I stay? Like, is there a best place to stay? And yeah, there is a best place to stay. So in Kuta Lombok, you will find one main road, and then like next to it, you will find like one semi-main road, which is like a part of the main road. Either way, if you stay on the main road or close to the main road or like 5 minutes within the range, like a 5-minute walking distance from the main road, you will be fine. Staying near the main road will give you easy and walkable access to anywhere in town that you need to go to, so you can go to plenty of restaurants, cafes, or if you need a place to work, everything will be in like a walking distance if you stay close to the main road. Close to the main road, you will also find a lot of activities if you want to. You can find a gym, you can find yoga, and a lot of other things as well. Like everything that you need in Kuta will be close to the main road or on the main road. So keep that in mind, because staying close to the main road will just make your life a lot easier when you're in Kuta Lombok. But you can also stay like a bit more further away from the main road, but in that case I do recommend that you rent a scooter, and do please wear a helmet, because we saw so many tourists and people not wearing helmets in Kuta Lombok. It was insane. The tourists from Western countries, I'm sure that in your home country you probably also wear helmets, or you should be wearing helmets, so please just wear helmets when you ride a scooter. We spent 3 weeks in Kuta Lombok, and for the whole stay we actually stayed in one and the same place. We extended our stay multiple times, and that's a place called Yuli's Homestay. Yuli's Homestay is a really fantastic place. It's budget friendly, they have breakfast, they have multiple swimming pools, they even have a small communal kitchen if you want that. But it's a really good place to stay, and it's also close to the main road. So if you want a recommendation, I can highly recommend Julis Homestay, especially again if you're like looking for a good budget-friendly place to stay. I will say though that the internet and the Wi-Fi at Julis Homestay it didn't exist.
The limit does not exist.
So in that case, I would recommend getting an eSIM or getting a physical SIM from like a nearby shop. But anyway, yeah, Julis Homestay is a great place to stay, and the like staff there is super friendly as well. And of course, there are a lot of like different hotels, hostels, and even villas available from like between all kind of different price ranges. So depending on your budget, there's a lot of variety on where to stay. Let's move on to eat. Food. Where should you eat? So once you have arrived to Kuta Lombok, you're ready to get a meal. Where should you go? Where should you have dinner or lunch or even breakfast? So let's talk about that. So our favorite place in the whole of Kuta Lombok, and we went here like probably 15 times or even more during your 3 weeks. We went here a lot, and it's a place called Flora Warung. And it's on the main road and close to Julis Homestay as well. It's a really good place. They have really delicious local Indonesian food, which at a really fair price point as well. Really affordable, really good and friendly service as well. So I do recommend them. Since we went there so many times, we tried a lot of different things, almost everything on their menu, and everything was good. So highly recommend Flora Warung if you're in Kuta Lombok. If you want like good salads or pastas or other Western foods, there's a lot of restaurants and diversity and places to go for that as well. One place that we went to a few times was The Hut, where you can get really big salads and good pastas as well, so I do recommend that. There is also Mama Pizza for really good pizza. Your first thought might be that do they even have good pizza in like Lombok, such a small place? But yes, they do, and it's Mama Pizza. They have the same one in Gili Air, and both of the Mama Pizza places are really good. If you want crepes for like a dessert or a small snack, then O Crepes has a small like stall. It's not a restaurant, it's just a small like stand or stall on the main road, and it's really good. Another place I do recommend is Rock Salt restaurant. Rock Salt, they have a Sunday roast, which unfortunately we didn't have the chance to try because it was always sold out. So I do recommend, if you want their Sunday roast, I do recommend booking that in advance on their Instagram account. For example, they do have an Instagram profile, but they do also have like hamburgers and other Western food as well, which is really good. When you want lunch in Kuta Lombok, if you want like Indonesian food, local food at a really affordable price point, there is Mia Mia's, and they have, as I said, local Indonesian food, and it's really affordable, so that's a good choice for lunch. So one super popular place you might want to try out is Milk Espresso. They have really good brunch and lunch. I didn't actually go there for breakfast or brunch, but it's a popular place to go if you want breakfast or brunch. They do have good lunch as well. Milk Espresso is nice, and you can also work there because they do have like coffee, so you can like get a coffee and work there for a bit, but it does get quite hot during the day, but otherwise it's a really good place to go. I also heard good things about Krnk. I have no idea how to say that, but it is KRNK for burgers, and then there's Cantina Mexicana for Mexican food. We tried the Mexican in Town, a restaurant called the Mexican in Town, but didn't like the food that much. I don't think it was that good, but keep in mind I've been to Mexico and I like really enjoyed the authentic tacos. You're not gonna get authentic tacos at the Mexican in Town, but you might want to try out Cantina Mexicana because I heard good things about it. Okay, so if you're in Kuta Lombok and you need good Wi-Fi, which is what we did, we needed good internet because Juuso is studying and I'm working at the same time as traveling, so we do need to have stable internet. And of course you can use like your mobile data. You can get physical SIMs or an eSIM through an app called Airalo, for example. If you want to check it out, I do have a link down below in the description, so you can get like a discount from Airalo. But either way, like having mobile data on your phone is a good thing while traveling. But if you want to go somewhere to work and you just want to have good Wi-Fi, or you just need to do some travel planning, whatever, you want a good Wi-Fi, like a nice chill atmosphere, then I have a few recommendations for you. Of course, while you're in these places, make sure to like that you buy stuff as well. So at Bush Radio they have good Wi-Fi to get work done. It's not like the best Wi-Fi, but it's good enough. And they have good lunch options as well and good coffee. And then there's Gecko Cafe, which has good lunch options, really good coffee and juices as well, and great Wi-Fi. If you want great Wi-Fi, like great upload and download speed, then Gecko Cafe is the place to go. I also heard good things about Mana Eco Retreat and Milk Espresso and Munchies for working. In Kuta Lombok you will also find co-working spaces. So there's South Lombok Co-work and Co-Create co-working space, and both have different rates depending on what you need, but the daily pass is about 175,000 Indonesian rupiah to 200,000 Indonesian rupiah. So if you need to tackle some more deep or heavy work, then you know it's a good thing to go to a co-working space. But otherwise, these cafes that I mentioned earlier are good. Like they have a chill atmosphere, they have good Wi-Fi, so those are good as well. Okay, so you have done your work, you have been eating good food, and you have a place to stay, but maybe you wanna like work out. So Kuta Lombok is a surf town, so you will find plenty of surf shops everywhere in Kuta Lombok. So you can rent a surfboard and take a scooter and head to the nearby beaches to surf, for example. But what I did, because I don't surf, I wish I could, but yeah, just too hard for me. I go to the Bumblebee gym, or I went to the Bumblebee gym. It's a very basic gym, but they do have equipment, like different kind of equipment, free weights and machines, so you can get a good workout done. Just know that they do not have AC, so it's gonna get hot as hell, but it's doable. And Bumblebee gym is 35,000 Indonesian rupiah for 1 day, like 1 day pass or one-time access. And you can also get water bottles there if you need to, if you run out of water, or also protein shakes if that's your thing, then those are also available there. So Bumblebee gym is really affordable. They don't have AC, but it works still great. Then there's a place called Xeno Fit. It's more expensive, it's more like a fancy gym, which is not like my kind of vibe really, but they also offer workout classes and CrossFit style classes if that's your thing. Then there is Mana Yoga, so they have daily yoga classes, which I didn't try myself, but I've heard good things about Mana Yoga, and one class is 120,000 Indonesian rupiah. Then there's Shanti Yoga if you want to take yoga classes, again another option for you. I went for a free class once, which they offered, and it was really great. I really liked the atmosphere, and normally at Shanti Yoga it's 100,000 Indonesian rupiah for one class. Okay, so other things to know if you're going to Kuta Lombok. So there's multiple ATMs in town, and none of them really has any ridiculous fee that you need to be aware of. Some places only allows you to withdraw like 500,000 Indonesian rupiah at once. So that's about 30 euros or 30 USD, and that's just a good thing to know. But you can always like withdraw multiple times and then you get your money, because there aren't really any ridiculous fee for the ATMs. But cash is king, so even though some places accept cards, they usually charge a fee when you want to pay with card, with like a debit or credit card. So I do recommend having cash with you always. And also you will find a lot of scooter rentals everywhere in Kuta Lombok, and these like are about 70,000 to 100,000 Indonesian rupiah per day depending on the place. So at Yuli's homestay it was like on the lower end, but then we also rented scooters elsewhere and it was 100,000 Indonesian rupiah. So yeah, the prices depend a bit, but they are in that price range. So what you should do is to check Google Maps, because there's a lot of places on Google Maps, like scooter rental places in Google Maps that you can check to check the reviews and also a bit like see what the prices are. But also know that a lot of accommodations in Kuta also offer scooter rentals. There are of course a lot of different things you can do around Kuta Lombok, like around the area. So first of all, there's a lot of beaches surrounding Kuta Lombok, a lot of different kind of beaches, but you will need a scooter to explore those. So near Kuta town you will find quite a large beach, but it's nothing special. If you want to go to the more beautiful and nicer beaches, I do recommend that you take a scooter that you rent a scooter for the day to explore those. And like driving around with a scooter, Kuta Lombok isn't hard. Just know that they drive on the other side of the road compared to Europe and the US. That's the left side of the road. Yeah. They do drive on the left side of the road in Indonesia, just keep that in mind, but it is quite easy to get into the traffic and everything in Kuta. So for example, Tanjung An Beach and Selong Belanak Beach were our favorites. Both have good waves and conditions for beginner surfer if you want to do that, but they are also great for swimming, and there are many restaurants on both of these beaches. If you want to have like a good sunset spot or just like enjoy the views during the day, then I recommend going to Bukit Merese. The Bukit Merese is a really good viewpoint that you can go to, and again you need a scooter to access it, but I do recommend it. It's really beautiful. Also, one thing to know is that paragliding in Lombok is really affordable. We went with Skylancing paragliding and they had a deal going on. So tandem paraglide was only 500,000 Indonesian rupiah, which is about like 30 euros. And it was a wonderful experience. So if paragliding is something you want to try out, then you can do it in Lombok. It's a really good place to try it out. Then there's also some waterfalls near Kuta Lombok. You can either take your scooter there or do like a day trip from Kuta Lombok, like a tour thingy. So there's Batu Santek and Benang Stokel waterfalls, and these make like a nice day trip because they're close enough to Kuta Lombok so you can do like a day trip out of them. And then there's also Secret Gillies. We didn't go, but we heard good things about the Secret Gillies as well. Just check them out. They do plenty of tours to the Secret Gillies from Kuta as well. There's one volcano on Lombok which is called Mount Rinjani, and it's a really popular trek, but it requires more time and usually starts in Senaro, which is on the north of Lombok. So somehow you do need to get to Senaro if you want to go to Mount Rinjani, or you can do like a group tour from Kuta. I think they organize those as well. We did a 3-day trip around the island of Lombok. We rented scooters, stayed in Senaro, and visited the famous Sendangile and Tiukelep waterfalls, as well as the lesser known Air Terjun Dewi Selandang waterfalls. If you want to see that video, I do recommend it. It was a really fun 3-day tour around Lombok. So if you want to do something similar, you can just rent scooters and then have some accommodation in Senaro, and you have like a nice long weekend or 3-day like road trip around the island planned for you. So I will link that video here somewhere up here so you can check that out. So definitely go check out our vlog from our 3-day road trip around Lombok. Next, I will link the video here so you can go check it out. And I hope you enjoyed this video and got plenty of helpful tips for your trip to Kuta Lombok. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!